Hello, this is Chris Hondel with Finale Inventory, and in this video I'm going to show taking a sales order that has already been created, preparing it to be packed, and generating shipping documents, bill of lading, for the order, including setting up the various configuration options required to ship hazardous materials. So on this screen, what we see is a sales order that's ready to go. It's already been prepared, and it contains a variety of firework products, both shells, comets, and cakes. And we've got the total order, and it hasn't been shipped yet. So to move it along to shipping, we're going to go to the Shipments tab. We'll note that we've got a yellow warning sign here that says the Shipment Record, which is the record that just records what actually is going out the door, as opposed to the sales order, which is what was the plan to go out the door, is empty, which means there are no items in the shipment. And if you look down here, we have the same warning sign here. The order says there should be 8 purple and silver glittering chrysanthemums, and the shipment has none. So the first thing we have to do is click this link, which is Update Shipment to Match Order. And what that's going to do is use some basic rules that have been built into the software to select shells and other products that are in the storage, based on where they're stored, and create a shipment record that includes everything in the order. So I'm going to click this link, and now you'll note that all the numbers match up. So there's 8 ordered, 8 are in the shipment, and over to the right here, it shows me that it selected the magazine H1 to pull the items. If there are items in multiple magazines on hand, it follows an algorithm to decide which ones based on oldest first. So now I've got a shipment record, and I'm going to hit save, and now that record's been saved. And when I look down, there's no warning. Everything is available in stock, and everything is ready to go out the door. So I can pack the shipment to a location where I'm going to store it. So we're going to store it. We're going to have 5 boxes, and we'll say select the H2 location as our storage magazine. At this point, the items in the order have been removed from their original locations where they were in inventory and have been placed into a set of record has been notated. There are now 5 boxes stored at the H2 location as of today's date. Now let's get ready to generate a shipping document, a bill of lading. So to set up a shipping document, a couple things had to already have happened. We needed to make sure that our product records had information on the net explosive mass and on the gross weight and on EX numbers. We needed to have carrier information set up for the trucking, and we needed to have information set up for the hazardous material contact information. So I'll go, after I show the bill of lading, we'll go back and show how you set all that up. But first we need to select a carrier. We had 2 carriers entered. We're going to select Big Productions LLC, which is the name of our demonstration company, as our carrier. So we'll pull up the DOT number for that particular company on our bill of lading. And at this point, I can come up here to the Actions menu, and I can simply immediately print the bill of lading based on the basic information that was available and already configured. And I'm going to zoom in on this so we can see it a little bit better. And so you see the ship from address. This is getting pulled in based on the location that was selected as the origin for the order. The ship to address is getting pulled in based on the record. The carrier name and the carrier's number and the hazmat registration number are pulled in based on the setup on the selection of the carrier on the shipment record. If you recall, I selected that on this particular dropdown. The 24-hour emergency contact telephone number and the emergency contract number are both included in the application settings area. I'll show that in a minute. And then the items on the shipment are grouped by UN number. So it's important to create bill of lading that the UN hazardous materials code is entered on the product detail for each product in the order. It's also important that as I mentioned, the net explosive mass for each product and the weight for each product are entered. The net explosive mass and the weight should be the weight per unit, not for the entire case. These numbers are all then calculated and then totaled up. The information that's missing here are the cases or the count of boxes or description that's required by the regulations for the DOT for the bill of lading. So we're going to close that and we're going to add that information. So I'm going to come up here to the Edit Bill of Lading menu item, which is in the Actions menu. I'm going to click that. And now I can edit any of the information on here. So if I, for example, want to add some additional information, City of Orange, care of, or contact, Bill Paxter, let's say, I can add that. I can come down here to this section here, and any of these items, any of the cells in the table of the contents of the bill of lading, I could edit. So we'll click Edit here. Say that we've got 5 cartons of 1-3, UN-13, and I've got 6 cartons of UN-14. And so I can add those items, and then I come back up here, I'm going to hit Save. And now if I then print the bill of lading, we'll see now that those edits that I made have been updated on the system here. We've got care of Bill Paxter on the ship to, and we got the 5 cartons and 6 cartons. So I should now have a bill of lading that's ready to go for use for trucking this particular item. Go back to the sales shipment. And we're ready to go. When the shipment is been shipped, I come up here to Ship Shipment, which will then, and let's just say that this happened tomorrow. And what this does is it now notates in our records that those 5 boxes that were packed and were being stored in H2 have now been shipped out and are no longer in our possession. And that's that. That pretty much wraps up the set of items that have to happen to do a bill of lading for each bill of lading for each sale. But I'm going to take a minute here to show how and where the particular information that appeared on the bill of lading is configured. So first off, the customer record, I go to Customers, I select my customer. The ship to address is simply the first address that's been entered for the customer. That's the ship to address on the bill of lading. For the product data, I'm going to go to Products, and my product here, I'm going to click on a particular product. You'll want to make sure for the product that the information for the weight per unit, the net explosive quantity per unit, the hazardous materials code, and the EX number are all entered for all of your products so that they appear correctly in the bill of lading. And then the remaining items are in application settings. So I go to Home, I go down here to Application Settings. You'll want to make sure that you've got your ATF license number and, you'll make sure you have your hazmat contact phone number. The ATF number isn't actually on the bill of lading, but your hazardous material contact and contract number, which are required on your bill of lading. And then to set up the carrier, your shipping carriers, you go to the Selling tab. You come out here to the Shipping sub-tab, and there's a list of carriers, and here's where you put the DOT registration number and the hazmat number. To add another carrier, I can click in any cell. I just start to type the name of the carrier. We're going to call this Partners Trucking Company. And then I hit that, and and away I go. And that pretty much wraps up the demonstration of how to set up the bill of lading on Finale Inventory.